What's going on, guys? Twintuitive 717. I am back with the Sleepy Beaver in a basket, and we're going to dive into the energy with the twin flames. But what I want to do is start with your energy. Divine Feminine, what do you need to know about the journey? Just yourself. What do you need to know about the journey, about yourself right now, about your own individual path? What do the feminines need to know about their own path on the journey? Okay, right now I feel like the Divine Feminines are focusing in on seeing things a little bit more clearly, okay? And I just shared in my previous reading that I feel like the Divine Feminines are really stepping away from seeing your masculine as your twin flame or seeing yourself as a feminine and they're the masculine, and really just getting to know one another again as yourselves, okay? Many of you are stepping a little bit further and further away from getting too caught up in the twin flame label itself, because I feel like it keeps you and your masculine at a distance, and the expectations that the Divine Feminine ends up having, it does create a lot of blocks, a lot of negative built up energy as well between both of you trying to figure things out. And because of the label and the expectations of a divine masculine, I feel that many of the feminines as well have been blocking off this journey unnecessarily. So the Seven of Winter, I feel, represents clarity for many of you. Seeing that there is a better choice, or there may be a different way to approach the journey with your masculines, because many of them are still heavily rooted here in the 3D. And I feel like a lot of you have been on the journey for a really long time, waiting for some kind of spiritual epiphany or spiritual shift or some kind of balancing of the energies within your masculine, and none of that's happening. So it's keeping you trapped in this loop. So I feel, and look at this, it says running away from the truth. Okay, so I feel like there is a level of acceptance from the Divine Feminines, to like accept your masculines where it is they're at, and not associating negative energy towards them because they're supposed to be this twin flame or divine masculine, and then when they don't show up as that, or they don't show up in this spiritual magical way, then there's a lot of negative energy that gets thrown towards the connection, or your expectations fall flat. So I feel a positive shift for the Divine Feminines, where many of you are doing a lot of detaching and a lot of releasing, not only from your masculines but from this twin flame journey itself, and you're rather just observing and learning from it rather than taking it on as some kind of like this part of you. I feel like many of you are just stepping outside of the twin flame journey and really just observing everything that you've learned so far, and just placing things where they need to be at this time. But what I do feel a huge shift in the energy, it's coming, or for many of you, you're already experiencing it, but that huge shift is many of your masculines coming forward again, and they want to come forward because there's no expectations of having to show up in some kind of like spiritual balanced way. It's just, take me as I am. This is me as I am. And I feel like many of the feminines are becoming less and less triggered with this new type of understanding. It's allowing your masculines to just be. Okay, we also have the Six of Winter as well. It says positive changes are on their way, a welcome relief from troubled times, traveling or relocating. Okay, so traveling or relocating, I feel like a lot of your masculines want to come towards you. When you're in this kind of detached energy as well, Divine Feminines, they can't help but feel drawn to you, because I feel like part of the Divine Feminine's journey as well is to like come down a little, whereas some of us, we want our masculines to like elevate their way of thinking, open up their intuition, open up the way they feel. For many of the feminines, I feel like it's about coming down and grounding and meeting your masculines where it is they are. So I feel like troubled times are over for both of you, just wanting to connect and relax in one another's company. But there's been this whole twin flame energy hanging over your head, and particularly for the divine masculines, being really afraid to show up in the way that they are and feel like that's not good enough. Okay, what have the masculines been focusing on in their own lives? What is your divine masculine focusing on? Okay, these are way too many. I will only take what's at the top and what's at the very bottom, okay? So we have Queen of Pentacles energy here, generous, stylish, gracious, and practical as well, as we know with masculine energy. It says be practical with respect to how you proceed, okay? Some of your masculines too, like trying to meet you where you're at. I feel like for them, it's about not trying to figure out this whole twin flame thing, but also divine feminines, like accept you as you are and realize that this is just how you learn, or this is something that you feel comfortable with, the world of spirituality, learning and reading about tarot. I feel like there's this kind of mutual respect here that's coming through, the ability to make anything more beautiful, meeting someone who can help your dreams come true. Okay, so they're very patient, grounded energy here coming from the divine masculines, where I feel like the more the divine feminines have understanding for the masculines where they're at in this 3D world, which can sometimes appear as like a really like a lack of understanding and like mutual respect for one another in terms of your views and where you stand on how it is you both feel about this strange, weird pull towards one another, this strange connection. I feel like what has been getting in the way is like a lack of patience with one another. One person is practical, one person is spiritual, and then never being able to come to like a mutual agreement. So that's what I feel happening with your masculines, but I do feel the feminines taking the lead on this by pulling yourselves a little bit further and further away from feeling like, okay, this is my divine masculine, I expect them to show up in a certain way, and then when they don't, I feel like delays happen. You either become very distant, very cold with them. And I feel too like for many of your masculines, they really don't know how to show up in this big emotional way that many of us are waiting for when we learn about twin flames, traditionally masculine and feminine, and all of these readings. I feel like many of us get trapped in this cycle of thinking that our masculines are going to come through in this like profound balance, like soft side of them, when what's really happening here is many of the feminines are learning to begin, beginning to understand the masculine energy as it is, okay, without trying to shift or change that in any way. Okay, we also have the King of Wands coming through, innovative, inspiring, wise, theatrical. I feel like your masculines are in a better mood as well because of this shift. I'm feeling like the weight of the world has lifted off of their shoulders because, again, they're not feeling like this pressure coming through. When we're situated in this spiritual world too much, it's like, you know, this divine feminine energy, and it gets intimidating for many of your masculines because, again, I keep seeing that self-worth is coming up for a lot of your masculines. Self-worth and expectations is coming up. But they're in a better mood the more the feminine shifts out of this and realizes that maybe this whole twin flame thing is just your understanding of the connection to your divine masculine, and that they don't have to understand this spiritual world. They don't have to be forced into trying to balance something between them or waiting for some kind of big spiritual awakening or epiphany. I feel like acceptance is key here for both masculine and feminine, but I feel like now is when the feminines are starting now to pick up on these lessons. A financial windfall, leadership skills are needed now. That's why they're in such a good mood, because leadership is coming through. The more the divine feminines release that expectations and allow the masculines to lead, the more they're in a better mood. You're not waiting around for some timeline, divine feminine. You are you're accepting this connection for what it is, but you're moving forward, you're moving ahead, and that is speaking volumes about your own self-worth and your confidence. It makes you attractive to this divine masculine while they're here on this physical realm. They see you in that energy and it's attractive. They already think that you're beautiful in every single way. So, you know, when they see that spiritual understanding where you release and just let them be, I feel like it puts them back into this leadership role. And the last line here says an unexpected supporter of your cause. So I really do feel like it's many of the masculines, again, feeling in a good mood. It's like energetically their masculinity has been given back to them, because I feel like for a long time on the journey, the feminines have just been pushing off this energy of like a know-it-all, on this journey. Watching so much tarot that you feel superior to your masculines when they do come through, or sometimes when they do come through and it's not enough and you want more. we tend to become over emotional, and then that's when a lot of the ghosting comes through, the blocking. And then because of what we know about this whole twin flame journey and what we might see in readings, it causes an even bigger wedge between masculine and feminine, because now your masculine's not acting like how, you know, the 30 last readings that you watched that said that they were coming forward in this, you know, beautiful way, balancing their feminine side, wanting to like hear you out and hear your emotions. And when they don't show up like that, and their emotions aren't as open, and the only thing they can do is shut down and ghost and block, you know, many of you, you know, you get disappointed by that energy, and then that's when the distance and all of that takes a toll on the connection. But I feel like with many of the feminines now understanding masculine energy for what it is, there's less triggering that's happening, putting the masculines back into this confident leadership energy. All right, guys, so that's my quick check-in for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Take it easy, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.